Hello everyone, Richard from ReviveMyRetro, and I can finally make my Nintendo 64 video now. So I ordered this off of, I think it was eBay. Oh no, it's the other one, Mercari, and it's a Nintendo 64 in very rough shape. So can't wait to see how this looks. I ordered the worst one I could find, and what attracted me to this one was that it's an earlier model of the Nintendo 64. I believe, based on the serial number that I saw, that it'll be one that we can easily mod. So let's see what's inside here and what it looks like. Okay. Oh wow. Yeah, I didn't see I didn't see a controller in the pictures when I bought this. It's got a broken button. Two broken buttons. It's cracked. Oh man, look at that. This has probably been sitting in. It's got dirt and oh my god, I don't know what that is. Spider webs. I think it's been in an outdoor kind of environment. And got an RF connector. Probably won't be using that. And power for it. And then here it is, the Nintendo 64, and it's in real rough shape. Look at that. Yikes. Let's hope we can fix this one up and make it like new. Okay. So even though the door flaps are in really bad shape, there is some dirt in them, but the actual pin cartridge doesn't look terrible actually. I was expecting it to be all corroded. Let's see, does this have anything in here? Yes, it does. It has the jumper pack. So let's hope like most of the dirt and stuff is confined to the outside of this. So let me go ahead and yeah, I looked at the serial number NS11. I think that's a early model. We won't really know until we look inside. So let me grab my tools. Here it is. You know what? Before I do, probably just see if it even works at all. And I'll use his power adapter that came with it. The plug is bent. That's why I was having trouble getting in. Here we go, bend it back. Wow. Look at that, it does work. It's a good sign. So at least it works. Whoa. How did that get in there? Look at that. Other than that, though, there is a lot of dust and stuff in there, but it's not rusted, which I'm really happy about. That means just a really good, clean. What is that? What's that? Like, how did that get in there? Where am I going to put this? Yeah, I'll put it in the box. Yeah. It's a NUS CPO3, which means we should be good on this one to do an RGB mod. Nice. We go ahead and finish taking this apart. Clean. So surprisingly, the board is in really good shape. Considering how the outside of this looked, I'm shocked that it looks this clean on the inside. That's crazy. Guess you should never judge a book by its cover. Alright, we've opened it up. It's time to clean things. Once everything is cleaned, then I can replace the capacitors. And then we can RGB mod this board. Alright, so I did probably one of my most extensive cleans on this Nintendo 64. This got a distilled water bath. So basically the whole board was cleaned. Every inch, any sign or trace of dirt's been cleaned off. The controller ports were especially bad on this one. Now they look brand spanking new. So it's the best kind of cleaning you can do for a board. This yellowy stuff here is flux from the factory and it doesn't come off very easily, and I'm not going to scratch it off. It doesn't hurt anything. But otherwise, this board is really squeaky clean. Like it almost looks new when you look at it. Really nice, and it's an early revision board too. So man, this looked bad on the outside, like from it, without opening it up. I thought this was going to have bugs and rust and all kinds of things in it, but the inside was actually pretty nice. I even cleaned all the shielding, and the shielding's in really good shape. There's no rust. I was quite happy about that. I mean, this is in good shape. I don't need to do any kind of work to it. So all these parts, nice. They look new. So everything was good. Even these little bits, and there's so many pieces to the Nintendo, but everything was clean. I scrubbed and cleaned every inch of every little piece. Got the back, that got deep cleaned. There was so much dirt in here. But now it's completely clean. I mean, when I say I deep clean, I deep clean. And I do it in a way where I try and preserve the serial number too. I don't like that coming off. So I'm really careful around this area not to lose that sticker. And yeah, it looks like one of the little rubber pads came off during my cleaning. Those are not going to stick around, unfortunately. This one's already gone. So I could have lost that when I was cleaning it, I'm not sure. But not a big deal to me. And we've got the top cover over here. And completely clean. This right here was just caked with dirt, and cartridge cover was just disgusting you saw it at the beginning of my video. So now this is just completely squeaky clean. All the buttons, I go through them with a toothbrush, get all the dirt out of the ridges of those engravings. Same with the Nintendo on this. It was, it had dirt in there, like it was horrible. So yeah, and I also put like a special like a plastic protectant on this, and it kind of gives it a little bit of a shine. But it kind of it's a chemical that kind of absorbs into the plastic, and it protects it, and it keeps it lasting, and it brings the color back too. So I always do that with them. They just look kind of like factory new when you do that. So yeah, I look forward to. Oh, and I also cleaned all the screws, so they all got a vinegar bath, as well as the pin connector. So that's been cleaned. See, it looks nice and good. Made good contact when I put it back together. So the next step with this is basically I'm going to do a capacitor replacement on it, and then install the RGB mod on the board, and then we'll do a comparison and see what it looks like without RGB, and then what it looks like with RGB. And I think for this one, I'll do the comparison through my retro tank, because that's where you can really see the difference. So that's what I'll do. Anyway, next step, moving on, I'll be doing the recap and the RGB mod. Hello everyone, I'm back, and now it's time to do the recap. And I've got the RGB mod right here. So I'm going to recap, and here's all the capacitors. So recap and then RGB mod. So we had to get this done. Okay, so all the old capacitors have been removed. No torn traces or torn pads or lifted pads or anything like that. I go through and I clean every pad up, try and get as much of the old solder off as I can. And now I think we're ready to start working on putting the new ones on. Ladies and gentlemen, all the capacitors have been replaced. No broken traces or pads. Those are all in there nice and symmetrical. Looks great. So essentially, we've really done a good service to this board. This should hopefully last another 30 years. Maybe longer. Who knows how long these will last. I hope they last for the rest of our lives. But yeah, doing capacitor replacements is probably one of the most important things you can do for a Nintendo 64 now, considering this was made in 1996. So next step would be now the RGB mod, which I'll put in right here. Okay, so the installation is done. It says if these components right here are present, I can skip the C-Sync, because that already goes out to the port. So early revisions, I guess these components are here, and if it's a later revision, those are missing. So don't need to do the last cable. That's it. Done. Time to put this back together. Alright, before I put all this back together, I've got to change these thermal pads. So get these old ones off. Factory ones. Surprisingly, these ones are not, the old ones don't look too bad. I feel like this Nintendo is just sitting in someone's basement. Never used. So... Alright guys, all done putting it back together. So full recap, new thermal pads, and RGB mod. Now it's time to just power on, make sure it works, and then I'll take it down to my retro tank and we'll do a comparison between the composite, and RGB, and we'll see what difference it makes in an upscaler. So I'm going to go ahead and plug all this in. Okay, got it all hooked up to the TV. Going to do Super Mario 64, one of the best games ever made. You got the blue LED, and we can confirm it is indeed working after all the work we've done to it. So, time to take it down and hook it up to an upscaler, and let's take a look at the difference. Okay, here you are, guys. This is RGB on the RetroTink versus composite. Really not a huge difference. You can see a little more detail in his blue jumpsuit thing that he's wearing there. But really, whether it's worth it or not, I'll leave up to your judgment. And just for a fair comparison, I plugged it into my CRT with the RGB and then composite just to see the difference. And I think the bigger benefit is probably on a CRT TV when I look at them both. So you do get some extra color and detail, but it's not huge. Now I'm tired. So again, thank you for watching my videos. If you find this content interesting, useful, please like and subscribe to my channel. I like doing these videos and I'd like to do more, so your support is very encouraging to me, so I do appreciate it. And I'll see you next time for the next one that I work on. I don't know which one that is yet, but it'll be a surprise. So thank you, everyone.